Indiana Jones. It's a podcast about Indiana Jones. Every movie, 1 minute at a time. The Indiana Jones Minute.
Welcome back to the Indiana Jones Minute, the daily podcast in which we celebrate and discuss the film Raiders of the Lost Ark 1 minute at a time. I'm Tom Taylor.
I'm Pete Mumrich.
I'm Gerald Christopher Marcus Porter.
And I'm Jamie Greenaway Benning.
Welcome, Jamie Greenaway. Thanks for joining us again.
Oh, you're welcome. No, I had a good sleep, so I'm ready to go.
Excellent. I hope the couch was comfortable enough.
Very nice.
Hope chair didn't make too much noise. Wouldn't it be great to be asleep right now? That would actually be fantastic. But we can't sleep. We're here to talk about minute 87 for crying out loud. And minute 87 begins with Indy using trees to scrape some of the soldiers off the truck, and it ends with the final soldier climbing towards Indy on the top of the truck. And one thing that I noticed, I mean, this has been happening for the past few minutes, but for some reason I only just noticed watching this minute that the windshield, like all the close-ups, not close-ups, but all the shots of Indy in the cab of the truck, those easily could have been just him in a mocked-up truck cab with guys shaking it on either side or something, but you can see that it's moving. And I think, Jamie, in your filmmumentary I saw, they actually do have it on a moving thing. It's basically driving with the camera in front of it, but you can see, like in the windshield, like the palm trees going by and everything. And it's yet another case of this movie just going the slightly extra mile to make things more awesome, where other indie movies maybe didn't do that as much.
Yeah, there's definitely a shot in the behind-the-scenes stuff, and I included it in my filmmumentary where you can see just the cab of the truck.
Yeah.
And nothing else behind it. So, yeah, they've obviously done that so they could, get it at a reasonable speed, I guess. I don't know. But, yeah, there's quite a lot of detail in this scene, actually. There's a bit I'll bring up in a moment once we've got a little further in.
Well, you know what I noticed is at the beginning of this minute, as he's scraping the soldiers off, as you said, Tommy, he's pretty lucky here that all of a sudden he's driving again in the dense desert foliage. And
the Oasis.
The Oasis, let's say. And it wasn't 10 seconds prior that he was on a completely treeless cliff. Although if you're telling me that this is over the course of a 3-week walk, then maybe it's just a really long afternoon. That's
they
fine.
stopped for gas 3 times.
Yeah,
already.
they stopped. Yeah, exactly. But I mean, just the like I said, the scape changes pretty dramatically, quite a bit. And he happened to luck out. Look, if these guys were approaching the cab, and on the cliff, we might have a different movie with the Lord being, very disappointed.
Unless he saw those guys walking up and it was kind of at the cliff and he backs up and he's got the beep, beep, beep.
There's
like
trees back
to
there.
the Oasis.
I think he's just on a very big roundabout. He's just steering to the right, and he's just going round and round these trees.
That's probably it. That's why it's 3 weeks in every direction.
Well, and then we've got this little guy that comes up and shoots Indy
Yeah.
through the door, and he shoots him in the exact same spot where Indy's girlfriend gets shot in Return of the Jedi.
Oh my God.
Oh boy,
Pete Mummert. Holy
Yeah.
smokes.
There's no boob grabbing after this one.
Well, who's he going to grab? That's incredible.
Friendly
I
Joe.
wondered, was Indy having such a fantastic time, sort of laughing and collecting all the points that he just completely misses the guy with the gun?
Could be.
Was he up there reminiscing in that moment? Like, remember that one guy who smiled at me before I punched him off the cliff? That was really.
Did I make the right choice?
The guy with the motorcycle. That was a really good one too.
Well, I think I think you're onto something because, yeah, that gunshot not only shoots Indy in the arm, but it sort of breaks the fun part of the like Indy stops having fun at that second, and my favorite music of the movie kicks back in, that dun 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 da 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 da, like with that gunshot it starts, and it's incredible. And every time I hear that music, I don't know what it is, but I almost can't breathe. I'm so excited to be watching these scenes.
I'm always amazed as well from a continuity point of view. You start to see the blood drip down the windscreen throughout this minute,
Yeah,
and it continues to drip down. So they're not using takes from earlier. Yeah, it's pretty impressive, really. As you say, they've gone the extra mile on several occasions.
they're
And
paying
then
attention.
the guy that shoots him, like when he shoots, he flinches like there's an impact from like a recoil from the gun, and the door flies back at the same time. Like
Is
they
that
really
true?
got everything.
See, I wasn't unclear about the door. Does Indy kick the door, and that's what gets it kind of off its hinges a little bit, or what happens there exactly?
He does kick the door.
Yeah,
Yeah, he kicks the door, and then he kind of continues to kick the door. And I think I guess the lorry is just becoming, and you like that? I said lorry.
that's pretty good.
Yeah. No, there's becoming sort of increasingly dilapidated.
Yeah, I guess there's a
As-
guy hanging off it that'll it wasn't built for that. Even
That's-
German engineering can't account for that.
That's true though. I just rewatched it. It looks like Indy kicks the door at the exact second that the guy shoots.
Yeah,
he's
like he
taking his
sees
foot
him,
off
the
the
guy
gas.
shoots. Yeah. That sucks.
I always enjoy the guy that cartwheels off the truck. Yeah.
I was just.
I always imagine he just keeps going, like, and he's still going.
Yeah, it's at second 20, and you're watching. It's like this perfect O-shaped roll. And I was wondering, there's gotta be a word for that. Like he must have executed like a triple sow cow
Oh, exactly.
or
That's
something like in
there's
gymnastics.
stuntman
or whatever.
shorthand for that.
I think
somewhere.
that's just as deep as the cliff shot, but it's just a 40-degree angle. But he just keeps going.
Guys,
It's a
this movie is
beautiful
so good.
roll.
It is.
Yeah, I just like he rolls down into a village and just does like he stands up from the flip and he raises his hands in the air with like a perfect execution and landing.
Yeah.
They all have cards, yeah. And
9.2.
Well, Tommy, you asked like what was the plan for the the I guess I'd call him like the Nazi captain in the back of the truck.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, like, do you think, he sends the guys up the side all at once. And I'm wondering now if he's having compunctions about that. Do you feel that, maybe he feels guilty as he climbs on the roof of the truck? Is he like, gosh, I should have told my 5 guys to take the roof.
Right.
That would have saved a lot of coconuts to the balls.
See, I think he's thinking because he sort of just shrugs and he's like, "Oh God, like these guys, God, now I got to do it."
Yeah. And what does he say there? He sees the
Uh,
last guy fall off, and he's just
he
like,
says "Scheisse."
Scheisse again.
does he?
yeah.
That's the third
Yeah.
Scheisse. Yeah.
You know, for years I thought that guy looked just like Paul Hogan from Crocodile Dundee. And I can't unsee it.
That's pretty awesome. I like this guy. I've always liked this
Yeah.
guy. I just realized that, just saying it now. I like this guy. I like that this is the next, just at the beginning of the next minute, but his hat flies off. You're like, oh, he's gray and balding. He's a workman-like dude.
He's an Italian stuntman.
Oh, really?
Yes, Sergio Mione, his name is.
Wow.
Yeah, he was in a bunch of other movies, quite a few European films, and I think he was in a Bond film or two. But he died in like 1987. I was trying to find out when
Oh,
I was
really?
researching, but I don't know if it was stunt related. It didn't say anywhere. But yeah, he was in the business for a long time. He was kind of revered in the Italian film industry.
I'll bet.
Well, I noticed the one thing before we're jumping around a bit, but the guy who's on the original guy who fires and he's on the door,
Mm-hmm.
and then Indy sort of goes over, like kind of drags him over a craggy cliff-ish
Mhm.
portion, right? And it looks like the guy gets hurt there.
Oh,
like
like
maybe,
his-
yeah. He kind of screams and yells a little bit, like oh my calf.
yeah. You can't blame him.
And then the next shot is you see that the door is, he falls off and the door is on the, it's just kind of by the side of the road
Yeah.
in the sand.
Yeah.
It doesn't really look very cliff-like.
Yeah,
it
no,
doesn't
that's
at
true.
all. Yeah.
Well, that goes back to like Cairo, where we were talking with Scott Roseanne about how, this city's impossible. It doesn't make any logical sense. Like you go down one
Yeah,
corridor
you
and
run
you're
in
all
the
the way
door on the
half
right
around
side
the
of the
world.
screen, and you come out of a door on the left side of the screen.
Yeah, so there's
Yeah.
a ton of that in this chase, as we're saying. So
Yeah.
and I don't mind.
No,
It's
no, I
okay.
don't mind either. And I guess he just got his legs hurt a little bit, and it
Sure.
sort of weakened his resolve.
Now, you try hanging off a door with your legs beat on the thing. Can I say something about this? As we're talking, I'm watching Indy kick that guy repeatedly, trying to get him off the door. And we've been saying from the beginning, like, there's something about Raiders that the other movies just don't quite get. And there's nothing fun about this moment. There's this is serious. Like, this is a guy in a truck trying to steal it, trying to kill another guy by kicking him off the side of a moving truck. He's just gotten shot in the arm. He's in a lot of pain. This is this is constantly compared to the entirety, basically, of The Road Warrior. This scene. I mean, they came out the same year and everything. The debate will go on forever about which one is a better chase scene, but. This is like bordering on The Road Warrior right here. This is just like brutal, like guys trying as hard as they can to kill each other. And it's fun. We're having a ball watching it, but it's not like, oh, what's Indy gonna do now? It's like, God, Jesus, what's Indy gonna do now?
There are no comedic facial expressions from the baddies, though.
Right.
It's none of that kind of wink at the camera.
Right.
Yeah.
But there are from Indy. He keeps doing the grin and the mug and the.
Not anymore though. Not like after I think once he's been shot, I think he's like, God damn it! I gotta Jesus! Everybody get off me! I gotta. This hurts.
It's because he knows the last guy is going to be the guy that's got his Han Solo boots on.
Oh my God, Pete, write it down.
Yep. Right.
Kicked in the face by his own boots.
Well, and even if in the previous seconds or minutes he's having a good time knocking the motorcycle guy off, he's still in his own world. He's not like looking at you and being like, that one goes for you, 10-year-old.
Right.
He's still in his own world, and you understand it's a triumphal moment. He's commandeered the truck. He just beat Belloc's luggage and Tote's luggage, and he's on a roll, and you're like, it's fine, and it's still subtle.
Yeah.
Which is what we always talk about. I mean, the movie is more subtle than the other ones in the series, where it's like everybody now has their jokes and they
Right.
club you over the head with them. And
You think you know what to expect from Indiana Jones? We're gonna do that.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, none of these guys is easy to get rid of. It's a proper. He's in a tough spot here.
Yeah.
And he's using all he can. There's nothing stupid about any of the ways he gets disposes of these guys. Apart
Right.
from the cartwheeling guy, but that's
Yeah, that's it. There's it seems like future blockbusters, I don't know, they're always trying to top each other in terms of, whoa, look at these amazing, crazy things that are happening. But this isn't so there's nothing crazy in this. There's nothing there's a little bit crazy coming up, but that's awesome. It's awesome crazy. It's like believable crazy. It's more like the
Last
choreography
option.
of the crazy.
There's a kind of a logicality to all of this, isn't there? Even in the scene coming up that we won't quite mention yet, it's there because, it's his last ditch attempt. That's all he can do, and this is all he can do in this situation. He's using his environment, isn't he?
Yeah.
There's no
No,
option.
everybody is even them using the cloth back of the truck, so it's got handholds for that last guy to climb over the top.
The guy who fires the gun looks like the first time he's ever fired one. He's doing all he can.
Heil Hitler!
I was just wondering why the Nazis up front there in the car have a GoPro attached to the windscreen. Have you seen that?
No, wait a minute, I'm going back.
I think they're like special motors for the the windshield wipers.
That is.
But they do look like GoPros. I like.
Sure it is.
It's called classic Toad. He's got to catch himself doing everything.
Yeah.
He'll be on Instagram.
Right.
Yeah.
How I spent my summer vacation. Well, if we're done with minute 87, Pete, why don't you let people know where they can get in touch with us and say, hey,
Come find us on Facebook, Indiana Jones Minute and the Listener's Crusade, or just look at Indiana Jones Minute. You can find us at indianajonesminute.com, and if you click on our library, we have a link to Jamie's very excellent filmumentary about this movie, and if you find that, you can find his others as well. They're all fantastic.
They are. And we hope you come back tomorrow, Jamie.
I think, I need to move a couple of things around, but that should be fine.
Fair enough. We appreciate the effort. And all of you, clear your calendars for tomorrow and come back for minute 88 of Raiders of the Lost Ark here on the Indiana Jones Minute. Jason. I always thought he said Jason, but that makes me sound like Jerry Porter. Jason! He was my favorite.